Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Sparkle Flow this morning. My name is Genevieve Marino, and I am a member of the Glitter Goddess Collective. We are live from New York City, and today's class will be a more restorative flow. And we're going to do some twisting and spine lengthening just to wring out and wash out the whole week and feel uh, nice and renewed this morning. So I recommend having some water nearby and maybe a couch pillow if you want to add any support underneath you. And then maybe a blanket, or I'll offer up when you might want to pad your knee for like a low lunge or something, and you can fold up your mat if you need some extra material or support underneath the knee. Let me make sure I get all my announcements in before we get moving. We offer these classes for free to the community. But if you feel called to donate, 100% of our donations go towards helping queer, trans, people of color who were affected by COVID. Perhaps they lost their jobs, or they have a member of their family in the hospital or something like that, or they need groceries. So we forward 100% of the money that you send us to those families severely in need. And if you feel called to donate, please Venmo at the Glitter Goddesses. All right, let's get moving. I'm gonna tie my hair back. And find a comfortable seat when you are ready. Make sure you take care of yourself. We can't see you, so please modify as needed. Do what's right for your body. We'll offer up suggestions, but if you feel anything like popping sensation, or something just doesn't feel right, then modify as needed. All right. So we're going to start today's practice with Ujjayi breath. And Ujjayi breath is a breath that has a little bit of sound to it that probably you can hear, but maybe the person next to you couldn't hear, or you might not be able to hear my breath, but it has a little bit of sound to it. And as you breathe in, your breath is going to kind of touch the roof of your mouth, the soft palate, and make like an oceany, echoey sound. So let's practice that together. Breathe in. And breathe out. And see if you can kind of have your breath coast along the roof of your mouth and the soft palate, the space at the top of your roof of your mouth and the back, and make that kind of ocean wave rolling in, crashing sound. Breathe in. And breathe out. And now we're going to kind of add a count to this breath. And we'll start with 3, and then we'll move to 4, and then 5 and 6, and slowly lengthen out the inhales and the exhales. So take one breath with no count, just to synchronize. And out. And then we'll do our Ujjayi breath to 3. Breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. And we'll do this for a couple rounds. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Now to 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now to 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now to 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a breath in, no count, and exhale when you need. Take a moment to observe. How do you feel after adding structure to your breath? How does the body feel? How does the mind feel? Take a sip of water. Nourish your body if you need to at any time during this class. And we're going to get started with some movement now. Again, in your comfortable seat, I'm going to be in Sukhasana for this. And we're going to interlace our fingers and stretch them out. And I want you to really reach through the palms of the hands and straighten the arms. And then slowly bring the arms up as far as your shoulders will allow. It's early in class and maybe some of us have just woken up. So no judgment here. We're just going to warm up our shoulders. And then take it over to the right just a little bit for a nice side body stretch. And maybe you look up towards your left and you breathe into that tight space. And then come back to center. Bring the hands down. Switch the interlace of your fingers so that the opposite thumb is on top. Bring your palms forward. Reach them forward and straighten the arms. And then bring the hands up towards the ceiling. Reach through the heels of the hands and reach towards the left. Maybe you look up towards the right. Straighten the arms. Ground down with your sitting bones, the two bones that are grounding towards the floor. And come on up and bring the hands down. Roll the shoulders out. Roll the neck out. Add any movement that you'd like. And then we're going to take the left hand, place it on the right knee. You're going to follow your gaze. Your gaze is going to follow your right hand as it reaches out and up towards the ceiling, and then behind you, and then maybe you place your fingertips on the ground behind your sacrum. And here you twist. Right rib cage moves towards the back of the mat. Left rib cage wraps around towards the right. Hips, your sitting bones again grounding down into the mat. And spine lifting up. You always want to twist on a tall, lengthened spine. And if you feel like you're rounding, come out of it a bit and you'll get a better twist, hopefully. Then, again, your gaze is going to follow your hand. Reach it out, up, and then bring it down to your left knee. And we're going to switch. With your left hand, again, follow your hand with your gaze. Reach it out, up, back, and maybe fingertips reach down to the ground, and maybe you were able to follow it with your gaze the whole time. Ground the sitting bones down, spine lifts. This time it's left rib cage to the back of the mat. Right rib cage is turning towards the left. Try to relax the shoulders. See if you notice tension anywhere in your body. And then to return to center, same way we came in, you reach the left hand back, bring it up. Maybe the gaze is following the hand, and return it to the right knee. So now we have hands crisscrossed on our knees. And what we're going to start to do is swim our hands up and around. And we're going to make big circles with our arms. Like this, and I want you to try and keep your gaze following each hand. So I'll talk you through it. Let's start with our right arm on top and our left arm on the bottom. And you're going to take your left hand and you're going to bring it towards your right knee, and then out towards the right, and then behind you, and then up towards the ceiling, and then down onto the left knee. Then take your left hand, bring it across the body, out towards the left, behind you, forward, and down onto the right knee. And you're just going to swim your shoulders open like this. Find movement and flow at your own pace. Make nice wide circles with your hand and try to keep the gaze following the fingers. And if you'd like to move fast, by all means, move fast. If you want to take it slow, move slow. This is your morning, your hour with us. Please do what your body needs. Okay, last round. And then meet us back in your comfortable seat. And from there, we're going to meet in tabletop. Take a sip of water in the meantime if you need. So in tabletop, you want, it's a rectangular feeling. Everybody's different, proportions are different. So like mine obviously isn't a rectangle, but you're going for that idea. Thighs are hip bone distance apart. Hands are shoulder width apart. Hands are underneath the shoulders. And actually I have to move mine back a little bit. And thighs, knees are underneath hip bones. And here, let's just do some cat-cows for a moment. Add movement as needed. And then come back to center, to neutral spine. And you're going to take your right hand out. So you're in this three-legged tabletop. And then you're going to reach your right fingertips out towards the right. Push down with the left hand. And then slowly bring your right fingertips up, up, up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Your gaze is following the fingertips. If you have more mobility, perhaps you open it up a little bit more. And I want you to think of hip bones moving out towards the right and the left, towards 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock if you were a clock face, to level out the pelvis. Push down with your left hand. Reach with your right, and maybe open up a little bit more for a nice open twist. Back toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever you prefer. And maybe your gaze meets your right hand. And you breathe. And come back to center. Check in with your tabletop again. Make sure everything is lined up. And then you're going to push down with your right fingertips. Lift the left fingertips and reach them out to the left. Make sure your hips are moving out towards 9 and 3, or right and left to really level out the pelvis. Reach the left fingertips forward, to the left, and then slowly bring them up. Maybe they reach towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. Again, push down with your right fingertips. Then maybe you open it up a little bit more Make sure pelvis is level, hips right and left. Maybe you reach a little bit more. Gaze might be towards the left fingertips. And come down. We're going to thread the needle. Take the right hand, walk it through the left hand and the left knee, and place the right shoulder on the ground. You can stay here if you want. You can reach the left fingertips towards the ceiling, or you could bring them in front of you on the mat and walk them towards the top of the mat. And you should feel a nice stretch in the back of the right shoulder. If you moved your left fingertips up or towards the top of the mat, bring them back close to your face. Press down on your left hand and come back to tabletop. Then you're going to lift your left hand, push down with your right fingertips, and walk the left fingertips through the right hand and the right knee. Or thread the needle on the opposite side. You place your head down on the mat to get a nice stretch in the back of the left shoulder. If you want to, either stay here or you can lift the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, or you can walk the right fingertips towards the top of the mat. And bring the right fingertips back towards your face if they were up or out in front of you. Push down and come back into tabletop. From here, we're going to stay on our knees. And again, if you need to pad the knees, by all means, you can double up the mat underneath you or throw a little blanket under there. And you're going to come down on your forearms, and you're going to walk the elbows forward to come into a puppy dog. And I want you to stop. This is a shoulder opener here. I want you to stop where you feel the stretch. And when you find your limit, without hurting yourself or pushing yourself too far, I want you to just enjoy or explore that tight spot. So stop when it gets tight and really explore that. So you can walk fingertips forward as far as they'll go. If you want, you can put forearms down on the mat. If you want, you can have your forehead down on the mat. Or you could have your chin. Chin is a little bit of a bigger stretch. And when you're ready, come back up. And we'll meet in down dog. And in your down dog, you're an upside down V. Hands shoulder width apart. Feet can be hips width distance apart. And in this down dog, I want you to add some movement if you feel like you'd like that. Pedal out the knees, pedal out the feet. Move the hips, move the pelvis. And here, so if you were pedaling out your feet like this, try out this down dog variation. Bring your feet wide to each corner of the mat. Bend your knees and look forward. And play around with this wide down dog. This is very nice if you're still working on lengthening your hamstrings. And so knees can be bent, but look how lengthened your spine can be. Feel. Feel how lengthened your spine can be. You bend the knees, you reach the top of the hips up and back. You push down with the hands. Feel lengthening in the side body. So see, do you like down dog with your feet hips width distance apart that's closer? Or are you loving this wide down dog? Try them both out and see what you like. And then from here, if you had your feet wide, bring them back together, hips width. And you're going to take your right foot, bring it to the top of the mat, and place it down next to your right hand. Like this. And when you get there, bring the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. So you're in this low lunge. And here, your feet are not in line. They are still hips width distance apart. Your right foot is on the right side of your mat, and your left shin and foot are on the left side of your mat. Here, if you need to pad your knee, put a blanket under it, or fold up the mat. You could always do this. Like that. One time or two times. So you're in this low lunge. You're going to almost feel like you're sticking your butt out a little bit. And then I want you to imagine hips, outer hips, are moving out, right, and left to 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Walk the fingertips forward. Plug right armpit to right knee. Then bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder, and you're going to lift right hand up and reach it. First, reach it out as far as you can. Bring awareness back into the hips. Level out the pelvis by reaching hips to 9 and 3. Push down with left fingertips. And if you have the ability and the desire to, reach up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Follow the hand with your gaze and open it up a bit. Maybe you reach further towards the ceiling. Check in with your knee and make sure your right knee is bent 90 degrees. And twist. And come back to center. Unfold your mat if you had it folded up, and come back to downward facing dog. Again, add movement to this down dog if you'd like. And then we're going to do the left side. Check in with your feet. Make sure they're hips width distance apart. And bring the left foot forward and place it next to the left thumb in between the hands. When you're there, place your back knee down. Here, you can pad the knee if you'd like by folding up the mat or placing a blanket underneath it. Untuck the back toes. Walk the fingertips forward so that you can plug in the left armpit to the left knee. Feel like you're sticking your butt out a bit to raise the pelvis. And then imagine outer hips moving out, right and left to 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock to level out your pelvis. And I keep saying that basically because when you twist, you want to maintain the level pelvis, because if you go like this, you're not getting as big a twist. Even though, wow, look how high my arm went, but you're not actually getting a big twist. So you twist the spine more if you try your best to level out the pelvis, lengthen the spine, and then maybe I only get this far, but now I'm actually twisting in the area, the middle back and the upper back that I'm trying to access. So reach, push down with the right hand, reach the left fingertips out to the left. Check in with your front knee, make sure it's 90 degrees. Check in with your pelvis, make sure it's level. Hips moving 9 and 3. And then peel up. Maybe left hand reaches towards the space where the ceiling and the wall connect. Follow it with your gaze. Maybe you peel open a bit more. And maybe that's as far as you go. Push down with right hand. And come down. Step it back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to, bring the knees down and take a sip of water. In your downward facing dog, bring the feet hips width distance apart. Step the right foot forward, sit next to your right thumb. Place the back knee down, untuck the back toes, and then bring the hips up and slowly yawn open the back of your right leg. Straighten it slowly. Open the back knee for a nice hamstring stretch. This front foot, the right foot, can stay down, or you can lift the toes. See what feels best for you. For a half Hanuman. Rebend the right knee. And step it back to downward facing dog. Look forward, bring the left foot forward and place it next to the left thumb. Bring the back knee down, untuck the back toes, and slowly bring the hips up and back to yawn, open the back of the left leg. Knee may not get perfectly straight. Leg might not get perfectly straight, but it's the action of straightening that lengthens the hamstring. Ooh, I just felt like an uncomfortable tingling, so Listen to your body and adjust if you need. Rebend the left knee and bring it back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, walk it up to the top of the mat so that your feet are in between your hands. You can bring big toes to touch or keep your feet hips width distance apart. It's your choice this morning. And then here, bend the knees. See if you can rest your belly on top of your thigh bones and walk the fingertips as far forward as you can. And then here, try to keep belly on thigh, ribs on thigh, and slowly, again, yawn open the backs of the legs. If you'd like to bring the hands back by your feet or on your shin bones or thighs, wherever they go, that's fine. And see, feel your hamstrings lengthen here. When you're ready, roll up to standing and breathe here. In Tadasana, you could be standing anywhere on your mat. Like we did at the beginning of class, you're going to interlace your fingers. Bring them forward, reach them forward, then reach them up, straighten the arms, look up, and maybe here you add a small back bend. And you've lengthened so much now that your gaze lifts. And the only place you have left to go is up and back. Come on back to standing. Bring the arms at your side. Step the feet hips width if they weren't already. Stretch the fingertips out left and right. And we're going to twist to the right. Bring your left hip with you. And then here, see if you can bring your left hip back towards where it should be, above the left foot. And reach the fingertips apart and wring out the spine. Hips are trying to reach forward. Fingertips are trying to reach out, left and right. Come back to center. Then twist to the left. Allow the right hip to follow and move towards the left. And then return it back to center so that hips are facing forward, but torso is trying to face the right. So you have this dual action. Hips turning this way, but rib cage turning this way, or the twist. And come back to center.
Downfall.
Reach the arms up, inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Take the left hand and bring it to the right Oh, let me adjust this so you can see me. Take the left hand and bring it to the right shin or ankle or thigh bone, wherever it reaches. Does not matter for this particular pose. And I want you, after left hand has got its space on the right leg, reach the right fingertips out and up as far as they'll go. Level out the hips by thinking they're moving out, right and left to 9 and 3, and twist here. And then come back down. Take the right hand to the left ankle, left shin, left thigh bone, wherever it reaches. And then we're going to twist this way. Head reaches towards the front of the mat. Pelvis levels out, right and left. And you twist. And come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Or bring the knees down if you would like a child's pose. Take a sip of water if you need. All right. If you were in child's pose, meet us in down dog. And from here, you're going to shift the shoulders forward so that you're in this plank pose. And then put your knees on the ground, bend the elbows, and bring the chest down to the ground. So now belly is on mat. You can shift so that you're in the spot you like. And we're going to do a few cobras here. First, we're going to do a wide cobra. I've been loving this pose lately. So you're going to take your hands out right and left so that you have these like cactus arms. And then forehead on the mat. Shoulders are going to go up towards ears, up towards ceiling, and then gently glide down the back so that neck is long. And then you're going to peel up. Maybe only a couple of ribs come off the ground. See what happens. And here, if you'd like, dip the left shoulder down and come up. Back to center. Dip the right shoulder down. Come up, back to center. And then lower to the ground. Now we will do a more traditional cobra. Bring the hands next to your ribs, right and left. And palms flat. See if you can get these 90-degree angles. But it's hard if you don't have a mirror or a camera on you. I can just look over on my video and check. So do your best. Again, bring your shoulders up towards your ears, up to the sky, and gently glide them down your back for a nice long neck. Push down with the tops of the feet, especially the pinky side of your toes, and then drag back with your hands. Lift the low belly. It's not going to actually come off the mat, but just feel the engagement. And slowly peel the head, maybe a few ribs. Keep pulling the hands back and back. Reach the chest and the heart forward. And come down. We'll do one more back bend. Oh, I should have said, if you are pregnant, and you have a baby here, instead of lying on your belly, what you can do is do a camel pose on your shins. And so your back bend will be the same motion, but you'll be lifting your chest up like this. And you could do any arm variation. You can have hands on the back of the hips, at heart center, reaching down the legs, something like that. So modify. Again, always modify as you need. If you're with me and you're doing my variations, from here, we're going to go into locust pose. So forehead on the mat. This time, you're going to reach the hands back with thumbs. Actually, let's do this variation. If you can, put the palms of your hands flat on the floor. Untuck the toes. Again, push down the pinky side edge of the toe. Pull in the low belly. And push down with the hands. Reach forward with the head. And slowly peel up a few ribs. If you want to, lift the back legs. Feel the inner thigh bones rolling up towards the ceiling. Push down with the hands. If you'd like to lift the hands, go ahead and lift them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come down to your mat. From here, we're going to do a seated figure 4. So, actually, let's do our figure 4 lying on our back. Just flip over like a pancake so that you are lying on your back and have your feet on the mat and hip bone distance apart. Bend the right knee in towards your chest. Place the right ankle on the left thigh. You can stay here, or if you want to deepen the hip opening, you can bring your left thigh bone in towards your chest. And here you feel the inner right thigh rolling towards your left foot. And we breathe. Bring the left foot back down onto the mat. Bring the right foot back down. Check in, make sure your legs are hip bone distance apart and that your legs haven't gravitated towards the middle of the mat. And bend the left knee in towards your chest and take the left ankle bone and place it over the right thigh, close to the knee. And you have this figure 4 shape. You could stay here, or you could bring your right thigh bone closer towards your chest to deepen the stretch. Roll the left inner thigh towards the right foot. And we breathe here. Lower the right foot onto the mat. Place the left foot onto the mat. Extend the legs. And here, you can come into a reclined Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come to touching. And feet and knees come wide. Feet can be close to your hip bones if you'd like. They could be further away. Closer is a deeper stretch. And here it's really nice to place, if you have two big pillows or something, place them underneath your legs for support so that your inner frontal hip flexors can just ease into opening. Release the tension. You could easily swap. I have a yoga block, but if you don't have it, you could easily place, this is my couch pillow. You could stack up your pillows. And from here, you can take Shavasana in this supportive Baddha Konasana shape. Or, when you're ready, remove your support and come to lying on your back for Shavasana. Inhale slowly and exhale it all out. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like, as long as you are able to, and allow your body to rest. If you'd like to return to movement, wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes and roll onto one side. Thank your body for moving with you today. Thank your mind for attending to this practice and dedicating yourself to this practice. Allow yourself to be free of judgments for how closely your body met your expectations or how closely your thoughts met your expectations. It's a practice. Every day is different. Every body is different. And each day is different. Slowly come up to a tall seat. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you for practicing with me, Genevieve Marino, today. Thank you for practicing with the glitter goddesses. If you enjoyed this flow, please check out our other flows. We are live every morning at 10 a.m. But if you can't make it or you want to return to us at a different time, you can always find our videos on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe and share us if you enjoy it. I also teach an evening class Thursdays, 5 p.m. for those who like to practice in the evening. And that's it. Bye, everyone. Enjoy your day.